Hello Substreamers and welcome back to Substream. We're not getting any younger, are we? Well, no, we're not. But have you ever wondered if you could actually slow down the clock and not just feel younger, but actually be biologically younger? If you've ever had that thought, well, you're not alone. And this quest for longevity, for slowing down aging, is something that is really one of humanity's oldest dreams. You know, we're talking the fountain of youth. We're talking historical quests for immortality. Right now, it's getting a ton of attention in a new kind of way. So we're going to be having or doing a bit of a deep dive into the modern science of anti-aging, looking at one guy who's got particularly famous for this, and some of the incredible and extreme lengths that people will go to get younger, and also I want to go into what the science says about anti-aging and whether you can actually add more years to your life. So stick with me. If you're not yet subscribed, please do. If you want to like this video, that would be very kind, and if you go to the trouble of leaving us a comment, we'll do our best to get back to you. Let's get on with the video. So let me kick off with a name you might be familiar with. Bryan Johnson. He's a tech millionaire. I think he's worth like 9 figures. This dude is super rich, but he's become the face, whether intentionally or not, of what people are now considering or calling competitive anti-aging, and he is the world leader in this. I don't fully understand how, but there's a way of measuring how fast your cells deplete and regenerate and stuff like that, and he has the best in the world, but he has spent absolutely millions achieving that feat in something that he calls Project Blueprint. Now, yeah, millions of dollars of years being poured into research, trials, tests, experimental therapies. It involves his family and blood and even some pretty vampiric things. But I'm going to tell you, because the internet seems pretty divided on Bryan Johnson. I actually really like this guy. He looks a little strange because, he's an older guy who's trying to look young and dressing millennial and all that, or Gen Z. Forget all that. I like that he is willing to back himself and put himself as the guinea pig, because I would say most tech entrepreneurs who have hundreds of millions of dollars would probably find some kind of guinea pig person who they could pay to do it, right? Pharmaceutical companies do it all the time. But this guy's got the money, and yet he says, no, I want to be the guinea pig. I want to do this to myself. And I respect and commend that. Okay, so what does he actually do to earn this accolade? What are the things he's put in place? Well, he has a hyper strict vegan diet, and apparently each day he eats exactly 1,977 calories, which is meant to be the exact amount that his body requires. He does daily workouts, he has a precise sleep schedule, and he literally consumes hundreds of different supplements and advanced therapies. Now, to know that all this effort is having an effect, he tracks absolutely everything. He has all different kinds of wearables and sensors and machinery. He's tracking his biological age down to the cellular level. He's tracking the health of his organs, and his overall goal, the point of doing all this, is he wants to have the body of an 18-year-old. That's pretty crazy, right? Now, I went to a pretty fancy gym for a trial recently. I'm 32 years old, and I did the test there and the machine and the body analysis and everything, and it said that I have the body of a 33-year-old. Well, I'm 33 next month, so I think I'm right on track. Do I desire to have the biological age and health of an 18-year-old? Not really. Some of us want to gracefully age and accept who we are and what nature has planned for us. I don't really want to do some kind of Benjamin Button and reverse my biological age, or try to live as long as possible in some physical condition. I just want to enjoy life on Earth, and if I have to spend my entirety of my life worrying about how long I'm going to live, I don't think I'll enjoy the process. And remember, life's about the journey, not the destination. Classic cliche quote. let's move on. Now, Bryan's dedication is pretty undeniably impressive. And, I mean, yeah, he's pushing boundaries. He definitely looks younger, even if a little bit pale and strange. But there are some nuances to consider here. Many of his methods are very much experimental, incredibly expensive, well out of reach of the common person, and some even raise eyebrows in the scientific community. They're a bit controversial, scandalous, or, they're just a bit strange. Now, I'll give you some examples. One is a gene therapy for follistatin acid, and it uses certain hormones, which some experts warn does not actually contribute to health span or lifespan, and is likely to have more risks than benefits. But again, Bryan is willing to take the risk. Now, this Project Blueprint that Bryan's doing is a fascinating experiment, but it's not a blueprint for everyone, really. It's a blueprint just for the elites, and that therein is controversial, right? It's, again, the haves and the have-nots. If you watched our recent video about gene editing, you'll remember that one of the biggest reasons that gene editing is not widely used is because it creates a society of the haves and the have-nots. And, I mean, if you have this anti or reverse aging, and there's a way to do it, but it's incredibly expensive, again, you divide society almost into people who have superpowers and those who don't. And, that if that becomes a trend, that becomes incredibly dangerous. And I think that's something we really should seek to avoid, especially, given that there are already so many divisions in society already. But I do think that it's interesting scientifically to try and hack aging, but a lot of the methods are, let's say, highly personalized and mostly unproven. But again, Bryan is the guinea pig, so while they remain unproven for now, he may be the one to prove them. So don't worry, I'm not expecting you to watch this video and then go and sign up for Project Blueprint. Probably the opposite. Realistically, if you are interested in anti-aging and you found this video because you'd like to, feel or be younger, you need something a lot more accessible. And according to scientists and the research that I've done, vitamin D is the answer. You probably already heard of vitamin D, and you know that it's important for bone health, but more recent research has shown that it's actually really a major contributor to the reversing of aging, slowing down aging at fundamental levels. Now, one of the big trials is called VITAL, all in capitals, VITAL, and that pretty much found that adequate vitamin D levels are linked to preventing telomere length. Now, telomere might be a new word for you, so let me kind of explain. They're like little plastic caps. Think like on your shoelaces. If the end of your shoelaces have like a little plastic cap on them, they're kind of like a protector on the end of these kind of laces. So what happens with your cells is your cells have these protectors on the ends of them, and every time your cells divide, the caps get a little bit shorter, and when they get too short and they can no longer divide, they become senescent, and that basically is what contributes to aging and age-related diseases. So in theory, the better or longer you can protect and the length of your telomeres, the slower you should age, in theory. Okay, now beyond all of these experimental stuff and vitamin D and anything that Bryan Johnson's trying, I think we should go right back to the fundamentals, the basics. What are some measures for good health that can help you live longer? And I'm talking, historically proven, science-backed things that can help you live longer and slow down the aging process. These are going to sound incredibly obvious, but stick with me because I'm going to do my best to justify each one of them. Now, it turns out that most of the answers to this anti-aging dilemma are actually found right in our daily routines. What a surprise. It's in the things that we do every day, starting with diet. Right? Diet's so important, and some slight tweaks to our diet can have profound effects over the long run. So I've got some information here. Let me tell you. Actually, let me get a little closer. Here's what you need to eat. to age better. So fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. What a surprise. Things like antioxidant rich foods such as berries, dark leafy greens, green tea. Healthy fats like avocados, nuts, olive oil, and fatty fish. These are things we've been taught our whole lives at school. We've just been ignoring them. Fiber such as whole grains, legumes, veggies, and basically cut out the junk. What is the junk? The junk is the things that we all love. They are refined sugars, trans fats, and highly processed foods. These things age us. It's not good. Let's move on to another factor of our diet: calorific restriction or intermittent fasting. This has become super popular. It's been popular throughout history, but it's become trendy, let's say, in the last decade or so, for people to do intermittent fasting. I get adverts on Instagram all the time for apps about intermittent fasting and time restricted dieting and fasting mimicking diets and things like that. Even people who fast for multiple days and water diets. And then you've got people who fast on the carnivorous diet and all sorts of stuff. But they say that it really does improve your metabolic health, and when your metabolic health improves, you are reducing your biological age markers. What a surprise. It's all there in the science. Guys, the next one, it seems so obvious. Exercise. You need to improve your mitochondrial condition if you want to live longer. You have to improve your cellular health, and you have to improve your telomere or protect your telomere length. And exercise is one of the best ways to do that. You got to do it regularly. You got to get your heartbeat up. You got to get a good sweat on. Guys, I don't have to tell you this. This is something we all know. You want to live longer, you have to exercise. It's just science. The next point is going to seem so obvious too that you're probably already thinking it, but sleep. Sleep is your nightly reset, and it gets overlooked by a lot of people because they just feel that they don't have enough hours in the day to work, socialize, exercise, and still get a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep. But it's necessary, right? It increases, well, when you don't sleep enough, it increases inflammation, oxidative stress, and even affects your gene expression. These are things that will age you, right? Now, it's not just about duration, because 5 hours of quality sleep is better than 8 hours of restless sleep, right? Now, how do you get good, consistent sleep every night and wake up feeling rested? Well, you have a consistent sleep schedule. You need sleep regularity so that you can improve sleep quality. It's not just, you could stay up for 36 hours to the point of exhaustion and then get a really good deep sleep, but that's not a good healthy cycle, right? So you need to be going to the bed kind of the same time every night and getting up at the same time. You need to work with your circadian rhythm and your sleep health to, again, try and live a longer, healthier life. And one more point before we move on to the next thing. It's about stress management, right? So stress is the great age accelerator. Chronic stress floods your body with all different hormones, but there's one in particular that's super bad for you. It's called cortisol, right? Cortisol just leads to kind of inflammation, stress, oxidative stress, and shortens your telomeres, which, as we've explored, it's not a good thing, right? So you need to find your way of managing stress in a healthy way. That doesn't mean obviously turning to drugs and alcohol or escapism, but it could mean mindfulness, philosophy, meditation, yoga, nature walks, finding new hobbies, arts and crafts, or deep breathing, things like this. These are ways that you can help manage your stress and preserve your cellular health and get your cortisol levels lower. Now, if you're watching and thinking, man, I already know this stuff, right? Good sleep, lower stress, better health, better diet, vitamin D. If you were thinking, I already know this stuff's obvious, everybody knows this stuff, then I will tell you now about some of the more experimental stuff. There's a weird guy lingering. Don't know why. And he just sprinted away like a bit of a lunatic. Okay. Bizarre. Okay, so I do want to tell you, before I tell you about these kind of experimental or innovative approaches, just remember you should exercise skepticism because they are somewhat unproven or in early research stages, and so this is not health advice. Okay, I'm just making you aware of what you're going to be familiar with over the next few years, what kind of health tech is coming out in terms of, I guess, supplements and stuff. So I've got one here. I've got some research here. I've got NAD plus boosters. This is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, or NAD plus. It helps decline aging. That obviously it's a supplement. There's another supplement called nicotinamide riboside, another one nicotinamide mononucleotide. They help to boost your NAD plus levels, and they've proven pretty promising in animal studies, but human research is ongoing, so I don't even know if these are widely available yet, but this is kind of hot property in the competitive anti-aging space. Now another one is rapamycin. It's a drug, typically an immunosuppressant, which extends lifespan in mice and other organisms, and it does that by inhibiting a pathway called mTOR. Now I don't know a lot about this, but it's all about cell growth and aging, but it's believed to have significant side effects, so be careful. The next one is senolytics. These are compounds designed to selectively kill senescent cells. Now, do you remember earlier we explained what senescent cells are? They are cells that can no longer divide. So they are old dysfunctional cells that accumulate with age and contribute to inflammation and tissue damage. So if we're able to kill off some of them, perhaps we stop aging so fast. I think that's pretty clear there. And the last one I've got here is gene therapy. This is something that Bryan Johnson is actively experimenting with. It's targeting specific genes that are involved in epigenetics or cellular repair. So it's experimental, expensive, and not quite yet deemed safe enough for public use. So it's just in trials. Those are the ones that are deemed experimental for now, but who knows, in 3 years they might be as common as face cream or chewing gum. Who knows? Now let me give you a little conclusion to kind of wrap things up. What's the takeaway from all this? You know, what should you be thinking after watching this video? Well, I would say, first of all, the future of anti-aging science and technology is pretty interesting. It's pretty exciting, and who knows, I think there's a good chance that they find a way to really extend our lives. Maybe in a century people will be living to 150. It wasn't that long ago that people were only living to 50 or 60, you know, and now people are living past 100, in some cases 110. It's incredible. 150 seems pretty plausible. Now the tips, just to summarize, if we can pull it in some quick bullet points: nutrient dense, plant forward, high protein diet, regular exercise pretty much every day if you can, optimize sleep quality and consistency, not just duration. Also actively manage your stress better. Like me, take a nice walk in nature when you can, when you have time. I went hiking at the weekend, and now I'm taking a walk through this beautiful park, absolutely stunning here, and I can feel just how calm and relaxed I am. I absolutely love it here. Now another thing is vitamin D. Talk to your doctor. You can get supplements quite easily. Your doctor will know how much to prescribe you to help you out, and those, I guess, are the foundational pillars of the things that you can do in your daily routine to live a longer, healthier life. Now, when it comes to extreme or competitive anti-aging, you might have to wait for some of these experimental and unproven technologies to be proven and to become public and for sale. And even then, if and when they do, they are going to be extremely expensive, so prepare for quite some outlay if you wish to give them a try. And that's it from me, substreamers. Now I want to hear from you. Please go down to the comments and let me know what you think about anti-aging. Are you happy to let your wrinkles come in, your grey hair, and just accept it? Because I am. I got grey hair. I just accept it. We are who we are. I'm not gonna go and do some crazy scientific process to try and look or get younger. We are who we are. But I want to know if you agree, because you might really be feeling the effects of aging and wishing that there's some miracle cure that could reverse the clock. If that's the case, I really want to hear from you. Tell me what you think about this video. What can we improve? What can we do better? What do you like? We're always trying to grow this channel, and if you have any friends who you think might benefit from any of our videos, please do share them. We're not on social media. We do everything organically, and as a byproduct of that, word of mouth is our best solution for people to know about this channel. So if you are a friend of Substream, please tell people about us. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.